What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today, we will be looking back at the 3-point collecting settings that Arsenal were on at Leicester this weekend. Went there, got the 2-0 win. Excellent result, people. And also the news that is coming out today. Lots of news regarding managers. Antonio Conte on his way to Tottenham, people, you know. Not words that I like to utter, to be honest with you, people. And also, former boss Unai Emery could be on his way to Newcastle as well. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on that. And a former Arsenal player that we've had on loan being linked with a shock return to the club, and not one that we would probably want to see back at the football club. Big up to all of you for tuning in today on this Monday. Start of a new week, 1st of November, people. Start the week off well. Start the month off right. Do what you got to do. Make things happen, people. And big up to all of you for tuning in. This could be quite a long show, to be honest, people. We've got a few things I want to talk about. I want to speak about Conte, him going to Spurs, how that may potentially affect Arsenal, you know, as we're in this top 6 kind of race. Unai Emery, former boss, on his way to Newcastle. You know, he wants that big bag of money to spend. How do you think he'll get on? Arsenal being linked with a shock move. Now, this could just be paper talk, but don't shoot the messenger, people. Being linked with a move for Dani Ceballos. How do you feel about that? I thought we'd got rid of this Kylie Minogue spinning around centre midfielder, but we're being linked with a shock move for him after he hasn't featured for Real Madrid this season, and he's available. And also, we'll look back on the game, the victory. Arteta said it was one of the best performances this season. I think it was a fantastic result against a very good team, but I still think there are a few things we have to correct if we're going to make it where we need to make it to this season. But we're certainly building in the right direction. Luka Jovic linked as well with a potential move to Arsenal. Let me know your thoughts and feelings regarding that. Big up to all of you, and we will start off the show today with our usual. We will look back on the game. We'll do our little Jamie Carragher slash Gary Neville settings, people. And yeah, we'll go to slow mode straight away because people, I can see lots of you have got lots of comments today. I have to admit, and I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put this out there from early, people. I've got a lot to say regarding this Antonio Conte situation. I remember when Arsenal were being linked with him, a lot of people messaged me, said, Curtis, forget it. Forget it. Conte, he would not go to Arsenal. He would only go to United or Chelsea or City or Liverpool. You can't get him. Now he's on his way to Tottenham. Now, if he was going to Man United, I would be more concerned than with him going to Tottenham. I can't lie. If he was going to Man United, I think there would be a serious issue. Going to Tottenham, I still think it could work out difficult, but I'm still not happy about it. I'm not going to lie. And people will say, just focus on Arteta. And I get it. Mikel Arteta is the Arsenal manager. We are making improvements. I can't see the light yet, but there are glimmers of light in the distance. But I still sit there and I think to myself, to be the best, you have to hire the best. If I buy a business and I want to hire somebody to run it, I'm going to get the best possible manager to run that business. And to me, Antonio Conte is an elite manager. Now, I do think, unless Tottenham seriously back him, it will be difficult. But I still don't feel good seeing Antonio Conte go to Tottenham. I have to admit, even though I believe Tottenham are in a mess right now, and it will be difficult for him to fix it, they're only 2 points behind Arsenal. They're not a million miles away. If they would have beaten Man United on the weekend, they would have been above us in the table. And they're treating it as a crisis. We're 2 points ahead of them. So there's a lot to talk about. There are a lot of dynamics to that deal. On one hand, he could go there, fall out with people, and be gone within a year. And all of a sudden, they've had a nightmare. But on the other hand, if they back him, because to me, if they're getting him, they must have told him, you're going to get money to spend, big money, because he wouldn't take the job. But I want to know your thoughts. We're going to come to that after we do our little Arsenal review. So hold your thoughts, people. I'm sure you've got lots to say regarding Antonio Conte going to Spurs. And it looks as if it's going to happen this time after he rejected the deal before. Right, let's talk about the Gunners. We went to Leicester. We went 3-point collecting. Forget trick or treat in Halloween. You know, we don't deal with them funny dupping man things anyway, people. All that bad spirit, bad energy business, Halloween. Let's talk about 3-point collecting. Forget trick or treating. We went to Leicester and went collecting people. Ramsgoat, Buffonsdale, Goatstale, whatever you want to call him. That brother showed up in full effect this weekend, people. And Arsenal got the 3 points. Yeah, we duppy up Leicester for real, man. They weren't ready for it. But listen, we're going to do player ratings as well. Let me make sure I've paused this. So I'm going to slow this down. Let's put it down to 50%. So obviously Saka. I saw Saka getting a little bit of criticism actually for this performance. People saying Saka was poor. I think people have to understand as well that Saka was involved in both goals. Now, I thought in the second half his end product was a little bit off at times. And listen, before we get into this actually, welcome back, people. He went missing for about 48 hours, but a short round of applause for Sidon. He is back. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Everybody was wondering where he was. He's in the comments. He's still got his Jamie Vardy picture up. That's cute. That's cute, Sidon. But at least you're back here. He was in the live stream at the beginning. And as the goals went in, he got quieter and quieter. And eventually, he just disappeared. So welcome back. We said give it 48 hours, you know, let the dust settle, then get yourself back. So he's back, people. He said, don't show this. My eyes are hurting. We'll skip through it quickly. Big up to Jitesh as well for becoming a member on the channel. Really appreciate that, bro. And look out for the member streams next week. International break. We'll do 2 during the international break. So, yeah, round of applause for Sidon, man. He's back. Fair play to you for showing up. But this was the first goal. This was a corner. Arsenal do not often score from corners. Saka whips it in. The key to that delivery is the pace. Flicked on by Gabriel. And we're going. We're eating, people. We're eating. 3-point collecting settings, people. We start eating the ball. It's all about the delivery. It's all about the delivery. It's like when you order that pizza, mate, from Domino's. It's all about the delivery. I think it comes off the back of Gabriel's head. But they all count. Who cares how it goes in? Off the veneer teeth, off the afro, off the nose. Who cares? Back of the net, 1-0. I said it before and I will say it again. I made it public knowledge on Twitter at the weekend. We'd said it between the community before, but I put it out there. Gabriel is the most excited I have been over an Arsenal centre-back since Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré. I repeat, Gabriel is the most excited I've been by a centre-back since Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré. Lauren Koscielny, for me, never had the centre-back partner to get the best out of him, and I always felt he was a bit lightweight. Good centre-back, but I never felt like Koscielny was going to become world-class. Thomas Vermaelen was good as well, but injury-prone. The injuries held him back. You can see the way his career has gone downhill. £23 million. Now, I'm not going to lie. Lille, they owed us that deal. They owed Arsenal that deal because we got bumped on Nicolas Pepe. Let's be totally honest. Whether you like Pepe or not, Pepe is not worth £72 million. We got bumped on that deal. So the least they could do was give us Gabriel for £23.5 million. What a bad man centre-back that guy is. And like I said, people, Arsenal's biggest concern over the time is going to be, let's make sure we hang on to him, because I can see Real Madrid's, Bayern Munich's, PSG's looking at this guy in the not too distant future. Grace Guna said, Curtis, we need to get Gabriel in the manager's office, give him a new contract. 6'4", quick, strong, left-footed, good on the ball. and in the ear. There is not a lot that he hasn't got, let's be totally honest. And people, here we go. Right, listen, before I read, I'm going to read your comment out quick. We've got a troll in the comments, people. No, he's a legend. But big up Zach, first of all. Zach said, Gabriel is one of the best centre-backs in the league. Say it. Listen, outside of Ruben Diaz and Van Dijk, there aren't many better than Gabriel. We can have the discussion. And here he is. Another round of applause. Here he is. One Kevin Campbell is in the comments. First of all, big up to you, bro. Hope you're well. And he said, it's the players. And look now, I want the same energy when I'm on. It's the players, Curtis. It's the players. Oh, man, Kev, you know what? He said it that many times. He spoke it into existence, you know. He's put it out there into the universe. And they fed it back to him. It's the players. And look now, I want the same energy when I'm on. Do you know what, Kev? We're going to speak later on. I'm going to message you. We'll sort it out. We'll get you on. We'll have a chat. At least we can have a positive conversation about Arsenal. But no, you're right. At the moment, the players are performing. Having said that, and I will say this, and I've said this many times, to me, they're playing in a system that suits them. Now, I know some people say systems this, systems that. Nobody can watch this Arsenal team and tell me they're not enjoying playing 4-4-2. They look like everybody knows what they're doing. Two strikers up top. Kev, you were part of many great partnerships. Campbell and Rooney, Campbell and Van Hooijdonk, Campbell and Wright. I was a striker myself. I love playing in 4-4-2s, you know. Get them to do the dirty work and I pick up the pieces kind of thing. You know what I mean? So this 4-4-2 is working, man. Mike Bassett settings, man. 4-4-2, people. Big up to you, Kev. I'll speak to you later. We'll sort out a show. Yeah, big up to Kev, of course. And like you're saying, like people are saying, Gabriel is an absolute beast. Smash the likes, people. Can we hit 1,000 likes? We're in the top 6. I don't have to accept the cookies when I go on the Premier League table. We're on page 1. We're living the high life. Do you know what I mean? We're so high in the table, I'm feeling dizzy on this stream right now. And I ain't talking about Dizzy Rascal, people. Top 6 settings back in Europe. No more Brexit. But listen, there's a long way to go. Long way to go. Right, let's move on. Let's move on with our analysis, people. Second goal. What I like about this goal so much is Emile Smith-Rowe, the position that he gets himself into. If he continues to play like this, Martin Odegaard is going to need a cushion because he was spending a lot of time sitting down if this continues. I want goals. I want goals, and assists. Emile Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe when you play, Martinelli when you play. Give us goals. Performances are not enough without goals. You're attacking players. Give me goals, people. That's all I want, goals. What I love about this, look at him here, bottom of the screen. Get yourself in the box. Ball breaks. Waiting. Edge of the box where the attacking midfielder should be. Runs onto it. 2-0 to the Arsenal. 3-point collecting settings, people. Thank you very much, Leicester. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. That's where I want my attacking midfielder. Edge of the box. Start slotting Aaron Ramsey settings. Too many times when you've watched Arsenal attack, midfielders aren't in the penalty area. Aubameyang's up there by himself with the ball getting crossed in. Look how many people are in the penalty area. 4 players in the penalty area. We're on the front foot. We're trying to score. Aubameyang, Saka, Laka, Emile Smith-Rowe, all in the box. Ball falls to him. Bang. We're seeing a different Arsenal, people. Kev said, don't hide behind a system, Curtis. The players still have to perform. It's only 4-4-2 without the ball mostly. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. The thing is, Kev, I think before, number one, I think the majority of the fan base always sat there and thought, there's a couple of players in this team that shouldn't be in this team. I've always had that feeling. Every time I do a watch along, I read out the team and I go, oh, no, not him. Why is Xhaka playing? Why is he playing? Why is he? I'm looking at this team at the moment and I'm going, yep. 1 to 11, I'm going, yeah, I'd play every one of them. And I think most people are agreeing with it. We're not having arguments pre-game and going, oh, no. Remember when we drew to Palace a couple of weeks ago and drew to Brighton? What did people start saying? Oh, we miss Granit Xhaka. I said, what? Laurie was in here. Granit Xhaka. No, we're not missing Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka is the worst midfielder when you get pressed. When a midfield presses you, you don't want Granit Xhaka in your midfield. Sambi Lokonga quietly on Saturday, people, handled his business next to Thomas Partey. He handled business. And let's face it, Leicester's midfield is good. Samare, who I thought had a poor game, was being linked with Arsenal and many other clubs. Man United, I think we're looking at him. You know, Maddison, a player we were looking at for 60, 70 million, didn't really perform. Couple of good shots. And Tillemans being linked with Liverpool, you know, 60, 70 million pound moves. We handled business. ESR, keep getting on the edge of that box. I want 10 goals out of ESR this season. Double figures, ESR, Saka, 10 goals. They've got it in them quite easily. I think he's, you know, easily got 10 goals in him. Lokonga, let me tell you, people, not many people have spoken about Lokonga's performance on Saturday. He quietly was excellent in that game. He's playing that support role very well for Thomas Partey. First couple games, it didn't really work. Was a bit disjointed. Now he's handling business. Custard Berry Tart said, big up Curtis. Who will replace Laka with should he go? And Naziri, we should have a look at. Young, developing, and looks good. Your thoughts? I mean, listen, first of all, Alexander Lacazette is still an Arsenal player. A lot can happen. Who's to say they don't keep him? Would I keep him? I'm not sure. You know, he's nearly 31. He's on 170. He's going to want more. It's an interesting one, but a lot can happen between now and the end of the season. What I will say, he looks brilliant in that number 10 role. Really suits him. You know, drops into the pocket, holds the ball up well. He's clever. And, you know, I like what he's doing in there at the moment. Let's skip through. I wish I could just play all of this, to be honest, but unfortunately, we can't. Right, we're going to... What's this bit? It's Ramsdale time, people. Aaron Goatsdale, Aaron Buffonsdale. As much as I thought this was a great performance, I mean, what a save that is. I didn't even realise he saved that at first. I thought it just hit the post. Big up to Gio with a super chat. He says, big up, Curtis. Your fans deserve this, especially since you guys pay the high season tickets as Smith Rowe surpassed Saka. That's an interesting debate. Big up to you, bro. Milan doing well at the moment. I know you're a big Milan fan, so I appreciate you super chat. And let me know, people, is Smith Rowe taking over Saka? What I will say, and big up to Mark, who says, big up, Curtis, listening while working out. Lokonga freeing up Partey to be Partey, and that is it. As much as I felt this was a very good performance, I still felt it wasn't a better performance than Aston Villa. And I tell you why. Even though Leicester are a better team than Villa, for me, the best performances have control. And I felt second half at times we were out of control. If you look back on the highlights of this game, and I'll show one or two bits, Ramsdale's making save after save after save. And if it isn't for Ramsdale's putting in such a good performance, this game can be a different scenario. Result, fantastic. Leicester is a difficult place to go. They beat Man United at home a couple of weeks ago. They are no mugs at home. Result, fantastic. I thought first half we were excellent. Second half, I thought we got pulled apart a little bit defensively. So I still would say the Aston Villa game, we controlled that game for 60, 70 minutes. We rode our luck a little bit second half, but the result was superb and the clean sheet was superb. Kev said Lacazette is leaving, unfortunately. I mean, Kev knows a lot of stuff. So when he says it, you know, I think he will. I think the problem you've got with Lacazette is 31. Any new contract that he gets, he's going to want security. You know, this could be the last big contract of his career. He's not going to take a 1-year deal at Arsenal, which I think they could possibly offer him. He's going to want 3 years. There's rumours Inter Milan are after him. He's being linked with Atletico Madrid again. I don't see him staying at Arsenal, unfortunately. And, you know, he's on 170. He's going to want the same or more as well. Nicholas said, always room for improvements. This is a fairly young team, so still not going to be perfect, but keep the wins coming. And we could get there. Of course we could. Of course we could. Cliff with a super chat said, fantastic win. But other Gooner legends also agreed that the gaffer was at fault just like us. Few nice games does not make a great gaffer. Listen, Cliff, big up to you for the super chat and a great win. I've had a lot of messages this weekend from Arsenal fans, right? Arteta this, Arteta that. Fair enough. As I always say, every time we win, lose, it doesn't have to be Arteta in, Arteta out. It's just Arsenal. It's just Arsenal. And you know what, Kev? Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Kev, if you're around, you could come on for a bit. I'll send you the link. Or if not, if you're not, we'll sort out a full show for later in the week. Just let me know in the comments. We are going to make mistakes still. We are a young team learning. What I always say is, you're not a terrible player when you're in a bad run of form, and you're not a great player when you're in a good run of form. It's about sustainability and doing it for a long period of time. Now, we all know that Emery went 22 games unbeaten. He won 17 of those 22. But the problem was it wasn't sustainable long term. There was a lot of individual brilliance within that run. What I will say is I feel like Arteta is trying to build something that can be sustained. For us to sustain it, I believe we have to gain that control of games and learn to manage games. So Leicester shouldn't be having that many opportunities, you know. But it takes time, and Leicester are a good team, and they're at home, and I understand it. I just feel like if Leicester would have got a goal in the second half early, we'd have been really riding our luck. So that's something they need to work on. But listen, I don't want people to think I'm being negative. It was a brilliant result for Arsenal. Big win. We play Norwich this week. Big up to Daniel Bailey TV. Sorry, Watford this week. He said, afternoon, Curtis. I got my first board meeting on Thursday with the Arsenal ownership. I replied to your message. Yes, I will get back to you, bro. And listen, talk on behalf of all of us, bro. For anyone who don't know, Daniel's got a meeting with the Arsenal board members. And, you know, I think he's going to be able to discuss issues from the fans' point of view and stuff like that. So I'm hoping you talk the things to them, man, and let us know what they say back as well. Buenos Aires Guna says, your comments are flying off. We've got 1,400 people in here already, people. Where's your comment? I'll come back to it, bro. I'll come back to it. Zeke said the controller games comes from the midfield. We needed to sign a midfielder in the summer. Sidant said I was embarrassed by that first half performance. I have to admit, I thought Leicester were very lackluster in the first half. I do think we helped that happen. But I was really surprised by how sluggish they were and how slow they kind of started. But listen, we made it that way. Let's continue with the Aaron Goatstale. Some people called this the save of the season. I tweeted it at the time. Peter Schmeichel said it's the best save he's seen in years. Now, when you consider his son's on the other end of the pitch playing for Leicester, that is a serious compliment. It was a free kick, poor free kick given away by Ben White. Maddison lined it up, whips it over the wall, tips it onto the crossbar. And what's even more impressive, Evans is 2 yards out with the rebound, and he saves that one as well. And like people were saying, the sun was in his eyes. Now, I look back on this afterwards because my initial tweet was save of the season. Best save I've seen this season. I think what makes it such a good save is the rebound as well. Because the rebound is, you know, that if he doesn't react, that's a goal. What I will say about this is that I think he should save it. Now I've looked back on it. What I think is so impressive about the save is the fact he tips it onto the crossbar. If you look at the position of the free kick, it's not in the corner. So I think he should get his hand on it. What's so impressive is the fact he manages to get that power with his weaker left hand and tip it onto the crossbar. Now, when we see it from this angle, over the wall, the ball is not in the top corner, so I think he should get there. What's so impressive is you look there, he's at full stretch. He could easily just get his fingertips on that and it goes into the roof of net. like you said, Matrix style save. It is one for the cameras. It's a goalkeeper's dream that you're at full stretch. If you look at the position of that ball as it's about to go in, I think he should save it. I'm just going on full screen so you can see it. It's not in the top corner. He should get a hand on it. What's so impressive is the strength in the hand and the fact he deals with the follow-up as well. Kev's free. Kev, I'm going to send you the link now, bro. I'm going to send you the link. Super Kev's on his way. Let's get him in here and let's talk. So like I said, I think it's the fact that he gets that power to tip that up onto the underside of the bar. Bang. Unbelievable, that the power in that wrist. And even then, Evans is 2 yards out, and he actually tips that onto the post. It's an epic save. Look, the crazy thing is, do you know how crazy I would be going right now if they would have scored from that Johnny Evans rebound? Look how many Arsenal players are in the penalty area, and he gets a free shot from 2 yards out. But hey, it didn't go in, so we got away with it. Akeem said it's the players, Curtis. Hey, he's on his way, people. He is on his way. Don't worry. I'm sending him the link as we speak. Kev on the way. Let's get him in here, and he could tell me about the players. But yeah, what a great save that was. And listen, he deserves all the credit that he's getting for that performance, because that's what we bought him for. You know, that's what we bought him for. Andrew said the stream was already fire. It's now a full-up inferno. Listen, Kev's on the way. Let me send... yeah, just sent you the link, Kev. Jump on when you're ready, bruv. And Cliff said Ramsdale was massive, mate. In my opinion, he may end up having the same effect on us that Henderson had on Sheffield United before he left. I think we can safely say now Leno's future at Arsenal is elsewhere. You know, let's be totally honest. I don't see him keeping himself, you know, at Arsenal and sitting on the bench. He said in the last international break he was keen to try and get into that German team with Neuer getting older and so on and so forth. We're going to do the ratings shortly as well. It's going to be nice to give some high ratings for the players, you know. Levan said, brap, Kevin Campbell and Curtis, legendary duo. I mean, listen, this is what you get on this channel, people. This is what we give you. Award-winning settings, you know. We give you match analysis. Kev just jumping in, you know what I mean? Arsenal legend. Big up to Kev, who's on his way. You don't get this elsewhere, people. Leno is brown bread now, mate. He's done out here, isn't he? Big up my bro Akeem said, just supported. Hey, I owe you a drink, my bro. Next time I see you, I'll get you a drink. I appreciate it, bruv. Could Leno save that? No, listen, one thing I will say, I'm not just going to slander Leno, because Leno, one thing I do think Leno is a very good shot stopper. I can't lie, he is a good shot stopper. Where my problem with Leno was distribution, was collecting crosses, was communication with the back four. The big man himself is in here. Yo.
Yes, Curtis. Yes,
hey, my brother.
Finally, we get to speak some positivity.
Oh, it's nice. Kev, do you know what cracks me up? For anyone who follows Kev on Twitter, right? I always like to put like a positive message out in the morning, and you do the same. So I think this morning I woke up at like, I don't know, 6:30. I'm trying to get up early now and seize the day and stuff. So I go on my Twitter. I'm like, right, let me get my morning message out. 6:30, no one's up. And it's like, Kev's tweeted 2 hours ago. I'm like, yo, what time does this man get out of bed, bro? Hey.
It was the early training one this morning, Curtis.
Oh, yeah,
the training was at 5 o'clock this morning.
Ross, Kev, man.
Yeah, no messing.
No messing.
It was a long day. It was a lot. You know when you got a busy day, get the training done first. You know what I mean? Yeah. Get it out the way, and then we could go just do the rest of your day.
Yeah, man. Listen, everyone in the comments, 1,600 people in the chat. Make sure you smash the living daylights out of that like button and subscribe. And if you're on Highbury Squad tonight, let the people know as well.
Curtis, you found Zidane. You found Zidane, did you?
Listen, I was about to call the Coast Guard, the
search
police.
party. Yes,
he's back though. Fair play to him.
Fair play to him. Fair play.
He needed 48 hours away, I think. But talk to me, man. What did you make of that performance and result on Saturday?
Curtis, listen. I'm like a broken record, as you know. It's funny, you know. People,
go on.
Listen, it's funny. People say I'm Mikel Arteta's lawyer and all that kind of thing, but I've always stuck to the same narrative. I don't change. It's the players that make managers and the players that get managers sacked. Now, if we're honest, Curtis, the first 3 games of the season, when we actually look at where we were all over the place. We were a shambles. We agreed on that. We were a shambles. But what we did say was, once he'd brought in his players, then there's nowhere to hide. It's a matter of, we want performances, but you know what matters most, Curtis? It's results. Results matter. Because when you've got no points and no goals or anything like that, you need points on the board. Yeah. And where the club were to where the club are now is chalk and cheese. We know we're not there yet where we want to be, because at the end of the day, Curtis, we want to be top. We want to be number 1. That's where we want to be. But he's got together a young squad, and I've heard that people saying that, you know, he's lost the dressing room at times. He hasn't lost anything. What the manager needed was a committed group of players. And finally, I'm seeing that, Curtis. I'm seeing the players, because you know what used to happen? We play our best 11 and the best 11 will be okay. And then as soon as we start tinkering with the team for the cup, then you see a big drop-off. But you don't really see a big drop-off as much now, which is good. So that just shows everybody's going in the right direction, Curtis. Still a lot of work to do. We know that, but do you know what? At least we're moving forward.
We are, and we can feel that. Just to add a bit of context and just to fire it back a little bit. We've seen a lot of movement today and over the last day or so with managers. You know, Conte and Emery's being linked with Newcastle. Mm-hmm. Even though it is the players, which I agree, it's clear surely that a manager can have a big influence on how those players perform with the motivation, the system, the players that he picks. You know, think about, when we were playing Willian up front or Smith Rowe up front, like they can still have an influence on those players, though, can't they, a top manager?
Of course they could have an influence. Listen, the key to any top manager is he gets the players in the right frame of mind to play. But once they cross that white line, Curtis, you know as well as I do, you've got to perform while you're out there. Yeah. And let's be honest, we have seen one of the most successful managers at our neighbours, and they've done nothing. So, therefore, he's a motivator. He gets players going and all that. We've heard it all before, Curtis. Yeah. The key to it is, are the players committed? Are they together? I saw a fantastic photo from last week where, the cup game, when Chambers scored and he runs over to the bench and you got Lacazette, you got Ramsdale, you got all the boys coming together. When's the last time you see things like that, Curtis? I've not seen that in years, that togetherness. The way the fans applauded them, the way the players applauded the fans after the Leicester game, because let's have it right again, it was the next big test was Leicester. Yeah. Because Leicester, no disrespect to Villa are a good side, but Leicester are better. Leicester have been a lot more consistent as a football club. They know what they're doing. And let's be honest, Curtis, if we'd have taken a point from there, we'd have said it's a good point.
We would, yeah.
We'd have said it's a good point. But we beat them. We beat them. The first half made them change. They brought on more weapons. So we have to defend. Because remember, we're 2-0 up. We have to defend better. So, fair play to the players. I've got to give it to the players because, the manager picks them fair, but the players are doing the business.
Do you think this? Do you think though this 4-4-2 has helped them, especially with Aubameyang? I'm looking at because I think does it help him having Lacazette up there occupying a centre back and doing a bit around him?
Curtis, you've played in the front too, and you've played up front on your own. When you've got somebody to share the load,
yeah,
it makes a big difference to you.
Massive.
You are not burning your legs out, chasing centre halves, running across the pitch. You could do a bit, and then your mate could do a bit. The bit I like is where obviously Lacazette comes into that just off Aubameyang, and he's the link play. He links the play. We can keep Aubameyang on the shoulder.
Yeah.
When we haven't got the ball, we look a lot more solid. Why? Because everybody knows their jobs. They're all in partnerships. Tomiyasu with Saka, Partey of Ben White with Lacazette, obviously. Aubameyang with Lokonga, with Gabriel. And on the left-hand side, Tavares, who's been outstanding, let's be honest. And Smith Rowe, that left side has been outstanding. So, again, when we haven't got the ball, the boys can go wherever they like. But as soon as we lose it, we get back into a shape. And they seem to be pretty comfortable at it. So, it's, long may it continue, Curtis.
Yeah, and obviously, this weekend we play Watford. So, without getting ahead of ourselves, you're already thinking, whoa, get 3 points there. A few of the other teams are playing each other this weekend as well. We could potentially be in the top 4 by the international break.
Well, Curtis, that is what we need to do, if we're honest. How many times have we been on there and we've been battling about being mediocre? We don't want to be mediocre. And I'm not saying that we can't fall. Of course we can fall. But half of the battle is proving you can get there.
Yeah.
If you prove you can get there, do you know what? It's a lot better being at the top of the league and having tough games than being at the bottom of the league because there's that much more pressure on you down the bottom. Next biggest hurdle is Watford. Can we dust ourselves down? Home game, they're not going to want to give too much away.
Yeah.
We've got to go and take it. That's what we've got to do. We've got to go and beat them.
Andrew's asking here, Kev, could you clarify the comment about Lacazette? Obviously, we were saying, would they give him a contract, but do you still see him leaving in the summer on a free?
Yeah. Lacazette will leave solely because of the contract length.
Yeah.
Curtis, we might would have say, we fans and stuff make flippant comments about, we'll sign him on another 12 months. Lacazette ain't signing. He's not going to take 12 months.
No.
We might be able to get him on 2 years with an option of another one. That's when, he's 31. That takes him up to potentially 33, 34. That makes a difference. But if you're only offering 12 months, he's not going to do that. He's going to need some stability right now. Definitely need some stability. And we might need to go younger, Curtis, at the top end of the pitch. I think that's what we need to do. Because having 2 30-year-olds at the top end of the pitch ain't conducive in the long run,
No. What do you make of this comment, Kev? Zach's talking about the midfield partnership. Do you think it's making a difference for Partey having a partner that's energetic as well and can get about the pitch?
100%. We always mentioned about Partey doing too much.
Yeah.
He's got so much work to get through. But I agree with your shout earlier on, Curtis. Sambi goes about his business, and I thought he had a superb game.
Yeah.
He does a lot of dirty work as well that people might not appreciate.
Yeah.
But, he's sitting in there. And don't forget, Leicester it's 3 against 2 in the middle.
Yeah.
But listen, they're bringing on weapons second half. I get that. They're going to get more of a hold in the game. And you're going to hold on to what you've got. I understand that. But in the first half, Curtis, we made them have to change. Yeah. And that tells you how well them boys in the midfield engine room done. I thought they were both outstanding. I want Lokonga to be the partner for Partey moving forward. I want when Xhaka comes back, he has to sit down on the bench.
Yeah,
He has to sit down on the bench. And if he gets back in, he has to earn it. Not he just comes straight back in. So fair play to Lokonga, young man who didn't play particularly well when he came on against Crystal Palace. Last 2 games, Villa and Leicester, I think he's been a star.
Just wanted to ask you about them lot down the road. Obviously, Conte, I mean, they're saying it's close to being agreed. What's your thoughts on that deal? Are you surprised he's taking that job and not maybe waiting for United? And do you think it will make a big difference for them this season?
No, I think waiting for United's not going to happen because they've invested so much money with Ollie. I think that probably is one that will happen at the end of the season. You know, considering they've gave him money for Varane, Sancho, and Ronaldo. You know, and Ollie. Yeah, the beatings were bad. Leicester beat them 4-2, and that Liverpool game was wow, it was unbelievable. But who better to come back and beat than Spurs away? You get the 3 points there. You slap them up a bit. You know, it could have been 4 or 5. You slap them up, and then it takes a little bit of that edge, that little bit of the anger out of the fan base. I think Conte going to Spurs is going to be really interesting because it is not a happy camp there.
No.
It is not a happy camp there. And I think Conte is one of them guys. He'll go in there and obviously he'll do his bit, but if things don't work out and there's interference coming from upstairs,
he'll walk, won't he?
I'm telling you, because he don't suffer fools, that man. He don't suffer fools.
What's interesting as well, apparently the deal's only 18 months, so they're obviously looking at, well, if it don't look great, we can easily both kind of get out of it.
Well, Conte's no mug. If he maybe wants to keep his eye in and get to know the Premiership again, right? Yeah. But again, if he goes in there 18 months, that don't sound good.
No,
Curtis, that don't sound good.
Just quickly, a last one on them. I don't want to harp on about them too much, but what do you make of Harry Kane? I've seen people saying that, you know, he's down in tools. Why is he not being criticised more? I mean, his performances just look like a player that doesn't want to be there. And have you ever been in that situation yourself where you've been trying to get out of a club? No. Listen, for me, I always give my all. Sometimes it didn't work out, Curtis. I've had plenty of bad games, you know. But you have to graft and you have to work. The problem with the Harry Kane situation, Curtis, is the chairman promised him. And people could say, oh, there's no such thing as gentleman's agreement. I saw Roy Keane and all that gentleman's agreement. There are. And you know what? If I shake your hand and tell you, Curtis, I'm going to do something, you expect me to do it. And I should be doing it. But the fact of the matter is, he reneged on the promise. Harry Kane is there. He scored goals for them. But it's never the same after that, Curtis. Never the same after being let down by the chairman. So, you know, I don't know 100%, but I could only assume Nuno Espirito Santo would have been told, you have to play him. Yeah.
Now, you're the manager and you're being told you have to play him, Curtis. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
Really is. It's tough for Nuno. And maybe Nuno went in and said, look, at the end of the day, I need to be able to pick who I want. And maybe they said, no. And, you know, they ended up sacking him or whatever. But I know results didn't go their way. But, you know, it's a poor situation for a new manager to come into. Real poor.
Yeah, for real. Just quickly, I'm going to do the ratings. You can jump in with me. And at least we can give some high player ratings. You know what I mean? Usually I'm giving out 4s and 5s. You can give some high ones.
Nobody less than a 7, mate. I'm telling you.
No. They're all getting. What was interesting, Kev? What a lot of people. We only had 35% possession.
But what does that tell you, Curtis? That tells you that possession is overrated. It's not about possession. It's what you do with it. You
No,
know,
you're right. You're spot on. You know,
what you do with it.
yeah. Well, we're starting with the goalkeeper. I mean, listen, I'm telling you now, I'm not sure I've ever done this. I know, in fact, I think I've done it a couple of times actually, but it's a straight up and down 10.
100%.
There's nowhere else to look other than the 10.
Listen, he gets 10 plus, man. He gets 10. He gets a 10 star. Let's be Curtis, and that save, that double save was unbelievable.
Wow.
But you know, one thing that's really impressed me about him, and you know, he's got all the other bits and pieces, his distribution.
Oh, mate. But that one where he zinged up to Aubameyang, I'm like,
He's
nah.
picking Aubameyang out, drilling balls, floaters just off the deck, pinging them to him, and setting us up for attacks. He's been unbelievable, and I think 10 is the perfect result for him. Obviously, you know, perfect score for him.
Yeah, listen, I've said a few times, Kevin, and I don't mind. You know me, I say it all that I don't mind eating humble pie. I was critical when we did this deal.
Yeah.
Because for me, I was like 30 million and this, but he's been a breath of fresh air. And it's his attitude as well that I love so much about him. Like I've said, we've had players there before where it's like they're acting like we're doing them a favour, bringing them to Arsenal, where this guy's embracing everything about the football club.
He loves the football club. You could see it. Curtis, you could see it. He loves being around the team. You know, that togetherness. There's a picture of Ramsdale, Gabriel, and Ben White after the win, all hugging.
Oh.
Do you know what? It makes me, I felt so proud, Curtis. I felt so proud of the boys after that game.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It is a difficult place to go. And you know, when Leicester starts sending under your Harvey Barneses and all these guys, and then Paxton Daka comes up, you know, it's to overload you.
Yeah.
And they're going to get some opportunities. Very rarely you go to Leicester and they don't get opportunities. They're going to get opportunities. But Ramsdale was outstanding. And I thought the whole team was outstanding. But you know, the back four with the goalkeeper, I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Custard Berry Tart said, Ramsdale's attitude is outstanding. He is infectious. Our defence must love playing in front of him.
Makes a huge difference. Yeah, makes a huge difference. Curtis, he'll bollock people as well. That's the other thing I like.
Yeah.
If they do the job, he'll pat them on the back. But if they're not doing good, he'll give them a rollicking.
Yeah.
Keep them on their toes. Brilliant.
He's been brilliant. Let's go with the fullbacks. Nuno Tavares, who again for me, like so far, he is like I'm thinking even when Tierney's fit, you're gonna have to sit down for a little bit.
Sit down and watch. You know what I mean, Curtis? Listen, these are all young players.
Yeah.
And when Tavares first came in, he looked a bit raw, and I thought he needs a bit of time. But wow, now he's been at the club a few months. He looks accomplished. I'm not saying there ain't bits that he can improve on.
Yeah.
But he's a threat, Curtis. He's a threat. When he picks it up and then he chops it and goes inside and nobody could get near him, he's ending up on the edge of their box.
Bro, the man's quick.
He's quick and direct. I love it. Absolutely love it. Listen, I got to give Tavares an 8.5, mate.
Yeah.
I'll give him an 8.5. I thought it was outstanding as well. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no, I thought, do you know what? Usually I don't do halves, but Kev's on, we'll give him 8.5. I thought he was brilliant. Really good performance.
Yeah.
But like
really
you said,
strong.
Tierney might have to hold a Carabao Cup game or something, man.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu, you know.
Barnes, he did well against him, but Barnes troubled him a little bit.
Yeah, he troubled him because you got to remember, they start overloading us then.
Yeah.
Because normally what happens is there's a wide player there or a fullback type player there. Tomiyasu could deal with him and Ben White could just cover.
Yeah.
But now they've got extra players on at the top end of the pitch who were more dangerous than just fullbacks, you know what I mean? So, yeah Barnes is a good player. And he caused him more problems. So I thought Tomiyasu done okay. they got a little bit more joy down that side, but I still thought Tomiyasu done all right. I'll give Tomiyasu a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5, Curtis. I thought he done fine.
I'll probably give him, I'll give him 7. I'll give him a 7. I think that's fair. Yeah. Listen, I made a comment the other day. It caused a bit of a stir, but a lot of people have agreed and not. I said, Kev, that Gabriel is the most excited I've been by an Arsenal centre-back since Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré. I'm not saying he's better than Koscielny, but I just think his ceiling, I think he's capable of becoming a world-class centre-back. Left-footed, 23, quick, aggressive, can play, wins his headers.
I think he
is an unbelievable sign.
Did you just say you don't think he's better than Koscielny?
No, I'm saying, like, obviously, Koscielny was at the club a long time.
I don't care how long he was at the club.
Look, here we go.
I don't care. No, I don't. No, I don't care. I think Gabriel and his ceiling, he blow Koscielny out the water. I know Koscielny. Listen, Koscielny was a good Arsenal player and a nice Arsenal captain. But unfortunately, he couldn't get us over the line. We needed a dominant centre half. Gabriel is a dominant centre half.
Yeah.
And he makes everyone around him better, Curtis. Don't forget, when he weren't in the team, look what we were all over the place.
Yeah. We was holding licks when he weren't there.
We were getting slap up. Ben White looks a lot more comfortable beside him.
Yeah.
Tavares and Tierney looked a lot more comfortable beside Gabriel. Koscielny, nice one. You upset us when the way you left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're an Arsenal captain. I think this Gabriel, the ceiling is massive. Do you know what we need, Curtis? We need these boys to stay together. We need that back four to stay together and keep playing. They'll only get better.
I would probably say after Ramsdale, Gabriel arguably best player. I would give him a 9.
9. Well, I'm right with you on that one, Curtis. Gabriel is definitely a 9. Ben White for me is 8.5.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you now, I'll tell you why. Everybody keeps telling me Jamie Vardy and Iheanacho, they're going to cause you major problems. Major problems. They didn't. It wasn't them who caused the problems. It was the ones who came on, the Harvey Barneses of this world, who, ended up kind of drifting into the middle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're the ones who cause the problems, make it difficult for you to pick up. So, listen, that partnership, if we could keep that partnership together, and there's one of our boys in France. I'm sure we're going to speak about it at some stage.
Yeah,
to come back.
Jesus.
And he's ready. He's going to be ready to play.
He's ready to go. He is that.
He's going to be ready to go. So it might morph into a free. You know what I mean? Look at them three, 2 beasts. And you got a player in the middle who is quick and can come through with the ball. You just never know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, again, Ben White, or Benjamin White, as he has to be called, I think he's quietly handling his business as well. It's good to see.
Yeah.
We're going to the midfield. Sambi, who, like I said, I thought just quietly handle. Man's got the low socks. He always looks like he's got time on the ball. I was like, yo, I'm loving what I'm seeing from this guy.
Really, really, really good player. Young player, but plays mature. He plays a lot more mature than his age. That's why we went and got him, I suppose, Curtis. You know what I mean? He's also got leadership qualities in there because he wants to take the ball. That's a form of leadership. He wants to take the ball in tight areas and he can play. The boy can play. Listen, we talk about an engine room. I'm giving a Sambi 8.5 because I give him an 8 for his overall performance, but I give him an extra 0.5 for the quiet way he goes about his business, Curtis. And people don't even see some of the work the man does. I love it, mate.
And do you know why I give him so many props? Because he came on, didn't he, against Palace. Yes. Made that mistake. Young boy, you've cost us a goal. Would have been easy for him to hide away, oh no, but he's just stepped up since. And I just think I like that about him. He's got some cojones, as Troy Deeney used to say. So, yeah, I would agree. 8.5, man. Proper player.
8.5, definitely.
What about the general next to him, man?
Release the G.
Let him out.
He's released now. He's got somebody who could handle the business beside him. Listen, Thomas Partey is just a all-round, Curtis. I don't think we've got a better player all-round than him in the squad. I'm telling you now.
Big statement. It's a big one.
I'm telling you, I don't think we've got a better player in our squad better than him all-round. His all-round game, he can do everything. Yeah, he really can do everything. Again, part of our engine room. I'm going to give Partey the same score as Sambi. I'm going to give Thomas Partey an 8.5 because I'm going to save some of the bigger numbers for a few of them boys in front of him because I think they really played a major part. But defensively, I thought Thomas Partey was excellent for us.
What I would say about those two in the middle, they played so well that Tielemans, people like that, they didn't do anything, and they're proper players, by the way.
Game changers. Yeah. Tielemans is a game changer.
Yeah,
you know that. I know that. Hey, and let's look at the player who we were being linked with for 70-odd million.
Yeah, Maddison.
Let's look at that. Had the free kick, but what did he really do? Apart from the free kick. You're looking at buying him for 72 million, you expect a lot more out of him than that.
He hasn't had a great season either, to be honest.
Yeah, so listen, I think we've ended up doing the right deal.
John Layat said, Big C and Big Kev, the streams are clear now. Hey, we're not playing, man. Monday afternoon business. You know what I mean?
Business, straight in.
Straight in. Let's talk about Emile Smith-Rowe. Listen, man, he's hyping me up because I'm seeing end products, goals, assists, baller.
Curtis, he's had a restful summer.
Yeah.
He was given the number 10 shirt. Remember, there was people who were saying he don't deserve the number 10 shirt. But he's got it, and he's embracing the number 10 shirt. He's a young player. Yes, we know that. He's a young player with a lot of talent and who needs to add certain things to his game. End product was one of them. Saka, we could say the same thing about Saka. Those boys need end product to their game. If they're not scoring, they need to put assists on the board.
Yeah.
But Smith-Rowe, I think, has been outstanding this season for us. And from that left-hand side, it allows him to drift in. That's where he got his goal from, Curtis.
Yeah.
I agree with Abby. I give Smith-Rowe a 9. I thought he was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Got his goal. And you see the distance he covered to get that goal. That's the other thing.
I'm talking about that driving run to the edge of the box.
Get in the box. If you're outside the box, you're no good to the team. Get up the pitch and get in the box. And it just fell to him. 2-0. Thank you very much. Laters.
Baller, man. Yeah, I'll give him a 9. I just think he's just quality now. That, like you said, I think the goals and assists was all he needed to add, and I think he's got 10 goals in him this season.
I think we need, out of him and Saka, 15 between them.
Yeah.
Whichever way it comes, 15. And I'm going to tell you something about Saka next, right?
Yeah.
What Saka is doing, sometimes people are not going to give him the credit.
Yeah.
But the partnership, him and Tomiyasu, that what they're doing down that right-hand side, especially first half, that's why Leicester had to change. Tavares and Smith-Rowe. That's why they had to change their whole system. They had to bring Lookman on and Barnes at the same time. Start the second half. Why?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get anything down the flanks.
No.
And that's Leicester. Leicester have to pull you apart for space for Vardy and Iheanacho. But they couldn't pull our defense apart. So when they bring extra players on now, we have to be a bit more, we have to be a bit more cautious, which is fair enough. They adjusted, but Saka is getting through a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah.
He's not got the end product that we would like at the moment, Curtis.
Yeah.
But you know what, Curtis? He's a young player who has had a Euros in him. He's had a short rest, and now he's back playing, and he's winning. He's playing in a winning team now, which is important. So, again, Smith Rowe's probably getting a little bit better of the goals and the games now. But I still think Saka is doing a great amount of work with Tomiyasu. I give Saka an 8. I give Saka an 8, yeah.
I'll probably give him a 7.5, but only because I thought second half he had a few times where he could have punished them a little bit more. But what I will say with him, I think he's a constant threat, Saka. I think that's the difference between him and Pepe. Saka always looks like something's going to happen when he gets the ball. So, but once that end product comes back again, he'll be flying as well.
100%.
Laka in that maybe striker / number 10 role that he drops into.
Curtis,
looks good there, don't he?
Curtis, he is essential to how we play.
Yeah.
Me and you have discussed this before. Oba coming with his back to play isn't the greatest at holding it up. He'd much rather be on the shoulder. Lacazette thrives in that position.
He does.
He really does thrive in that position. And I just think the way he plays, he's tailor-made for this system, especially this system. It's great to see that connection between him and Aubameyang together again. We love it, don't we? We love seeing them together. Yeah. I just think what Lacazette brings to the table. Lacazette's a 9 for me, by the way.
Oh.
He's a 9 for me. It gives us so much at the top end of the pitch and linking that play. That allows Smith Rowe, Saka, Partey and Lokonga to hit him. And also Ramsdale, we've seen Ramsdale hit him directly and play off him from there. And it sticks. So I'll give him a 9.
Listen, I agree. I think Lacazette in this role is outstanding. I mean, like you said, he takes the workload off Aubameyang. He even drops in and helps the two centre mids, protects the ball. He's in the build-up for the second goal. I think he's brilliant. I think they knew 60 minutes or so will take you off because he didn't even look unhappy when he came off. I just think he's got a great attitude, Lacazette, as well. Really like his attitude. But the only question I would ask, and I know, not to put a downer on it, why do you think we haven't tried this sooner with maybe Lacazette and Oba in a 2?
I just think you've sometimes as a manager, you've got to give players a chance. And don't forget, Curtis, when teams were picked and Pepe weren't playing, or Martinelli weren't playing, fans are kicking off. Why ain't Pepe playing? Why ain't Martinelli getting a chance? So you've got to try and give as many people a chance as you can. Yeah. And then as a manager, what you've got to probably say to yourself is, right, my back four and goalkeeper works, but I'm not and this is probably correct. I'm not getting enough production at the top end of the pitch.
Yeah.
When we play 4-2-3-1, we get exposed down the flanks at times because when we're up there and the ball breaks down, we get countered on. So maybe what we have to then do, let's try it. And maybe they've tried it in training. When we lose the ball, we go into a 4-4-2. And we go and hunt from there. And you could see the pressure. You can see Smith Rowe's a lot more comfortable pressing this way. Yeah, you can see Sambi you can see Partey, you can see Lacazette, you can see Aubameyang, and you could see Saka. They're more comfortable pressing because they know, I go there, then he's going to pass it there. My job's done. I just come back into the group. And everybody knows their jobs. Yeah. And I'm not saying they didn't know their jobs before, but this is just a lot easier because everyone's a lot closer. Curtis.
So is it the manager then, Kev? I couldn't help it. I had to.
No, I know you can't help it, Curtis. I know you can't help it. No, Curtis, like I said, the manager has to put the plan in place.
Yeah, he does.
Of course he does. He puts the plan in place.
Yeah.
But the players have to go out and execute.
Yeah, and they have done.
And they have done that recently. So, that's why at least we're seeing a little bit of progress, which is nice.
Let me just quickly read these super chats. Little Wing said, great show as always. Can we get this duo more often? Quick question. What do you make of Gallagher and could we nick him from Chelsea?
I like Gallagher. Energy, great energy. Put his foot in the midfield. Be a good squad player at Arsenal, let's be honest. But I think he's learning his trade and he needs to play.
Yeah.
So, he's at Palace now. He's on loan, I believe. Yeah. And he's at Palace. He's getting game time. He's excelling. He's doing great. Yeah. I mean, look at that result at the weekend.
That was a big shock. Stay Fresh said, if Lacazette is so important as we have always known, why has the manager waited so long to do the obvious? He was our best player last year.
But hey, stay fresh. Lacazette has played and done well and not so good. Because don't forget, you remember last season? People were screaming Lacazette down. Remember when he missed them chances at Anfield and all that kind of thing? People were burning him. Lacazette does the ugly work. But you know what? We realise when we're winning. When we're losing, is trash. But when you're winning, people start to realise, actually, wow, he does a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah, that's it. Snake Eye said, morning, Curtis from the US. Glad to see you, Kev, and thank you for always keeping it real. Only thing missing in this team is the toughest invincibles and the other great teams had. Thank you, Kev and Big C. What's he saying?
It's probably what the toughest invincibles and the other great teams had.
Yes,
probably that's what he's thinking. That all they're missing is that. And Curtis, we're the youngest team in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Don't let's not lose sight of that. This is happening with a young team.
Yeah.
So I just think the only way he's up for this team, there's going to be bumps in the road, Curtis. We know that. That's for sure. It's Arsenal. There's going to be bumps in the road. But you know what? With this setup and the way the players work, no one's going to want to be injured or ill. Everyone wants to play. Ben White had to come off in the week. Yeah. He made sure he was ready for the weekend because he knows if you come out of the team, you might not get back in.
Yeah, exactly. What do you make of the big man Aubameyang? I mean, didn't get the goal, but I felt he led the line pretty well.
Led the line pretty well. And let's be honest, Curtis, if that Zaha challenge is a red card, Johnny Evans should have walked. He rugby tackled Aubameyang. He rugby tackled Aubameyang. So this is the discrepancy. I just think sometimes when we play, we can't get Aubameyang good ball sometimes.
Yeah.
But Aubameyang, do you know what? As a captain, I know we questioned his captaincy at times before. Yeah. Now he is being a captain, as far as I'm concerned. He's grafting for the team. He looks a lot happier. Yeah. And, everybody seems to be coming together. He's the main man. He's the captain. So I'm gonna give Aubameyang an 8 for this game. I thought Lacazette played a little bit better than him, but I'm going to give Aubameyang an 8. Didn't really get any chances. Put that wicked volley back across the box, etc. And I think his leadership qualities, leading by example, putting the work in, is standing up now.
He is, yeah. No, listen, I thought it was a good performance because I used to think with Aubameyang, when he didn't score, he didn't do much. Yeah. That was a question of him. Now I'm seeing leadership. He seems like he's really playing for the team. And like you said, he spun Evans there. Evans should get sent off. And it's a different game. We might win that 3 or 4-0. You know what I mean? So,
well, they go a man down, Curtis. It's a matter of how many we're going to get.
Yeah.
So, referee poor.
I mean, listen, we can't finish. I see loads of people. We can't finish without talking about the manager. Of course, I have to talk about the manager.
Who my client? Who my client?
Yeah, your client, Mr. Arteta.
my client.
You know what? I think Mikel sends you one of them bottles of wine after every show when you've defended him.
Well, I'll tell you what. It will be about 365.
The whole cellar's full downstairs.
The whole cellar downstairs. No, listen. One thing I will say, Curtis, about the manager.
Yeah.
We've had to give him some stick at times. He's got a lot of stick, and he's had to get his own players in, and there's been a lot of pressure on him. And do you know what? Fair play to the manager for sticking with it and doing what he thinks is right. Because that's all you've got to do. He's got to do what he thinks is right. He's got to get the players in who he believes, and then he's got to coach them. And he coaches them, and then he's got to trust them when they go out on the pitch. And a lot of the times it hasn't quite worked out. We got a little bit lucky against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
But those 2 games, but they still came back, Curtis. They still came back to equalise, Lacazette. And then that Villa game, and then this game, which was obviously the 2 next biggest hurdles. We've overcome them. We have another hurdle to overcome, and it's one that we're supposed to win.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're the biggest hurdles of all.
I tell you what, right, and you know me, Kev, I've been very critical of the manager at times, sometimes deservedly so, sometimes maybe I've gone a bit over the top, but
maybe.
Maybe, just maybe. Maybe. But the one thing, do you know what? One thing I'll give him credit for is I see someone with belief in himself. He doesn't shy away. I've never looked at him and thought, do you know what? He's crumbling here. He's
soft.
He's always looked like soft. He's had that idea and he's going to go through that pain to hopefully we get that joy further down the line. So I'll give him credit where credit's due. I will give him that, and we're getting better.
Yeah, and you know what, Curtis? Like, we'll keep saying it. We are not where we want to be. We know that. And we're not getting above ourselves or, getting too far down the line. We're not doing that. Let's just embrace what's happening right now with this young team. Because I think it's really important.
What we're giving him out of 10, Kev? What would you give him?
I'm going to give Arteta a 9. I'll give him a 9. I'll give him a 9 because so many times we've said we don't know what team's going to turn up. We don't know what team's going to turn up. Against Villa, we blew Villa away and then we controlled the game a lot more. Why? Because we were at home. Away from home, this was our next biggest test. Huge hurdle. We blew them away first half.
Yeah.
They had to adjust, rightly so. And he made changes. He settled us down. He made enough changes for us to go on and win the game. We had a clean sheet because of an outstanding goalkeeper and defensive performance. But you know what? If somebody said to me, we're going to win 2-0 at Leicester, we're going to have to defend well. And we did. So fair play to Mikel Arteta. I'll give him a 9.
Yeah, I would give him a 9 for the fact that he was brave enough to go to Leicester and stick with the formation. I thought he might have bottled it and brought maybe Odegaard back in for Lacazette, but he said, you know what, it worked. Let's take the game to them. And I thought we shell-shocked them a little bit in that first half. So, yeah, I'll give him a 9. I just wanted to click on this. Nick Taylor said, Kev is a Gunners legend. I named my cat Campbell when I was 9 years old.
Cat Campbell, yeah? All right.
Campbell,
Yes, man. Yes.
Come on. Man,
nice one. Nice one. Cat Campbell, nice one.
Do you know what, Kev? I wanted to just ask you quickly about this. Obviously, Emery went 22 unbeaten. We're now 9 unbeaten under Arteta. Do you feel that this feels different from the Emery unbeaten run when a lot of people were saying that was kind of a lot of individual brilliance rather than collective brilliance? Do you feel like this is different?
Well, it is different. Let's be honest. It's a different group of players. There's a lot of young players who are in this team and a lot of players who weren't even at the club since then. But, would you swap a 22-game unbeaten run for significant wins over the big hurdles? Because, a team who draws 3 games and a team who wins 2 and loses 1 are 3 points less off than the team who wins the 2 games.
Yeah.
Curtis, I want to be a winner. I want Arsenal to be winners. And if that's going to cost us a victory now and again, I'd rather we go for it and go for the win than pick up a point here, 3 draws, and you don't move. You don't move in this league with draws. You move with wins, and we need to win.
Someone's put this comment here, and before I say this, I mean this in the most, respectful way ever. Was Granit Xhaka getting injured a blessing? I don't mean him being injured for 3 months, of course not, but just him not being in the team, and we've built a new partnership that seems to have worked better.
Well, you can say that, Curtis. Of course you can. Nobody wants to... Listen, I don't want Granit Xhaka at the club. I've said that multiple times. The fact of he is at the club, and he's probably a starter when he's fit. He gets injured. Hey, listen, it's an opportunity for Sambi.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity. Don't forget, Sambi didn't come straight into the team. Thomas Partey was sitting in that midfield on his own against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Sambi came on. We made 2. Both our midfielders made 2 mistakes that cost us goals. Since then, Curtis, they've been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
So the players that come in when people get injured, they have to take the chance. And Sambi's taken it with both hands. That's why I think Xhaka's going to have to sit down.
He's going to have to sit down, man, definitely. But obviously, looking ahead, we said we're going to speak briefly about this guy here. I mean, L'Équipe, which is obviously one of the biggest publications out of France, they've gone with the headline, signing of the season in France. 9 clean sheets. They're 3rd in the league. If they win the game in hand, I believe they can go 2nd. Payet says he can't understand why he's not in the Arsenal team. He thinks he'll be in the French squad soon. A lot of us have said, including myself, he should be at Arsenal. He should be there now. We should be looking after him. But is he actually pulling a masterstroke, Arteta, in the sense that with a year at Marseille under that pressure at a big club, you will feel like he's ready for Arsenal next summer?
That's the only vision I can see. Because let's be honest, Curtis, if they didn't fancy him, they could have sold him. Let's be honest. Especially when you're at a club, COVID, and we need the money.
Yeah.
We could have sold him. He's got a future at the Arsenal. That is for sure. The manager or the management team didn't think he was quite ready and could have done with another year. And let's be honest, Curtis. Look at the teams who he played for previously in France. To look at who he's playing for now. That's a bit more like it. When you're playing at Marseille, that's a bit more like the pressure. You're going to come under that pressure and then some when you come at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Can you handle it? He's proven he can handle it. Get a season under your belt, come back to the Arsenal and be a star at Arsenal, William Saliba. Because I think you've got a big future at the club. And don't forget, Curtis, when he comes back, I think he's only got 2 years left on his contract.
Well, I've said
so
this
you
on
think
the show,
about
Kev.
that. So you think
I've
about
said
that.
this on the show, though, Kev. Just to try and put our minds at ease a little bit. Some people are going to sit there and go, well, he's playing every week for Marseille. They're in Europe. They're a big club in France. He's under 21 captain. With 2 years left, is there a chance he maybe says, I don't want to come back? Or do Arsenal think we've got White and Gabriel, we cash in on him?
What do you mean he don't want to come back?
Well, imagine if
he's our player.
Well, you know what I mean, though, Kev? If he was to say, listen,
he's our player. No, I'm sure he is. Listen, Curtis. Arsenal gave him the opportunity to go back to France and play a season for Marseille. which will be it's massive for him as a player.
Yeah.
But the next move is he comes back and he starts doing it for Arsenal. Or else you sell him. You would have sold him last summer. You would have sold him last summer. He's got a future at Arsenal. As far as I'm concerned, I only could give my opinion, Curtis.
Yeah, of course.
I truly think he's proving the potential. And then when he comes back, I just think those three centre-halves, Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White, possibly playing as a free, and he's used to playing as a free in a free now.
Yeah, they're playing free at the back.
They're playing free at the back. Curtis, hey, listen. Take on Messi and Mbappe and everybody. It's time for you to come back. Come back.
Yeah, nah, listen. I just hope we see him next season. I think there's a serious player in there, man. And I hope they extend his contract, though, because 2 years, you don't want him to run into that 2 years, really, do you?
Curtis, watch what happens. Watch what happens. Curtis,
Wait,
the best thing to do...
Out, you know, I'm coming back
Curtis,
to you.
No, Curtis. But you think about it, the best thing to happen is he's had an unbelievable loan.
Yeah.
He comes back and you hook him up with a new deal. You're part of it now. Here's a new deal. That's what you have to do, because if he starts running his contract down, there we go again. I can't see that happening. He's too young to let that happen, Curtis. You've got to hook him up. And I believe they will.
Just quickly, Kev, before I start rounding up. Obviously, January coming up. They're saying AFCON actually is 50-50 at the moment, whether it will happen. But if it does happen, obviously Pepe, Aubameyang, Partey and El Neni. Do we need to go into the market in January, in your opinion?
Potentially, yes. I think we do. If you can get a deal done for somebody who you fancy, of course you do it. I don't know if anybody saw Basuma at the weekend.
Mashing up Liverpool's midfield.
Listen,
I thought he was still locked up, Kev. I didn't even know he was out.
But do you know what? People were telling me he can't play. Are they mad?
He's a beast.
He's a beast and a baller. Again, we need a squad, Curtis. And Basuma's probably going to go to the African nations, isn't he? So if they're qualified or whatever. We need to add certain players to our squad that are going to be there for the longer term. Getting a player in just like a Ceballos who's going to do a little bit. Them days are done. We need people who are going to come in and be part of that camaraderie.
Yeah.
Whether we get them or not, I'm not too sure. I'm sure they're going to be doing their homework. You know, will Xhaka still be up to it after his injury? Because we have to look at that as well. We're not sure. So we might have to move and shake. But if it was up to me, you know this, Curtis, I'd be all over Brighton to get Basuma for sure. I would go and get him.
It's one of them, innit? Like everything about him, the way he plays, I'm like, he would be ideal in that midfield. Do you know, I actually can't believe he's still at Brighton. You know, I look at City, he could probably replace Fernandinho long term. He'd walk into the Man United midfield with McTominay and players like that, Fred. So,
but you know, me personally, I just look at Brighton and I think one a season. They sell one a season, or else it's too much of a quality exodus out of their squad. If you sell Ben White and you sell Basuma,
you're mashed up.
Yeah, you're done. So one a season, and the next one is Basuma.
Before we round up, from this point now, what would your minimum be to be considered something of a success for Arsenal this season?
Well, progress. Let's look at
progress. Yeah,
progress is top 6.
Yeah,
and we got to win a cup.
Yeah,
we've got to win some silverware. For these young players to win some silverware, Curtis, I think that's a real good level jumper for them. Real good for them. So, a bit of silverware. And well, the draw in the cup's been kind to us.
Yeah.
You know, so once you get to these rounds and the draw's favourable, you expect us to say, right, we're going to do the business. But we've got to win. We're Arsenal. We've got to win silverware. And you get into that top 6. If we could sneak top 4, Curtis,
mate, if that happens,
then it's been for me, then it's been an unbelievable season where we probably didn't think we could get there. But can we do it? We can do it. We can get top 4, but certain things have to fall our way.
I think you're right. And do you know what's funny now? Now, if Conte goes Spurs, that might keep Ollie at United, and that could potentially, because a lot of people think Ollie is the thing kind of holding Man United back. I think we've just got to stay on their tail and say, listen, you know, we're in and around here. If you start dropping points, maybe we can just nick that 4th. It is a stretch, but we've got to be in the mix, haven't we?
Curtis, we've got to think positive, Curtis. As a fan base, we've been, you know, we're settling for, we're accepting mediocrity. No, we're not.
Yeah.
But what we need to do, we need to see it out on the pitch first. We need to see it out on the pitch. When you see it out on the pitch and you could beat the likes of Leicester, let's be honest, who have just missed out on top 4 for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And we slap them up and put Zidane in hiding. You know what I mean? That's what we do. So we should be thinking a little bit more positive now. Can we get it? Yeah. Will we get it? Things have to go our way. But it's nice to be able to think more positive than just, we're going to finish 8th, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a good way to finish. I think, listen, the good thing is now, at least we're looking forward to Arsenal games. You know, we're scoring goals. We're climbing up the table. I don't have to scroll to page 2 anymore. We're on the first page. You know what I mean? We're in the mix. So it's positive, man. We have to enjoy it while we can, you know. Hopefully we get 3 points this weekend as well. We need to be beating Watford, don't we, Kev?
Yes, we do. And again, that's the next hurdle for this young team to get over. Got to keep grinding. International break coming up, Curtis, which, first off, it was nice to us. Yeah. Second time, you know, that Crystal Palace game weren't too kind. We started well and then we fell off. So, you know, let's get that win. Get that win and go into the break, and we could all have a nice little international break.
Just to say as well, first game after the international break, Liverpool at Anfield.
Exactly. That's why we want to get the 3 points in now. Yeah. Beat Watford, get the 3 points in, and you never know, we might just be in and around the mix.
Yeah.
Because you know what, Curtis? You saw what Brighton were 2-0 down. That's a coupon buster.
It is.
People were putting, Liverpool to win. I put Liverpool to win.
Yeah.
Fair play to Brighton. They showed if you keep going and you play your football, you could unsettle Liverpool. So we need to be going in there full of confidence.
Yeah, totally agree. Kev, really appreciate you coming on. Big up to everyone in the comments. 2,000 people in here. Make sure we got to get at least 1,000 likes on this.
At least. If you didn't hit it on the way in, make sure you hit it on the way out. Exactly. Especially if you like what's going on down the other road, down that gaff down the road. Conte, yeah? You watch what Spurs do to Conte.
It was like an all-you-can-eat restaurant the other night, wasn't it? Man, you just helping themselves, man.
Oh, my God. Ronaldo couldn't believe it. Feast. It was a feast.
Man, you know what I mean? But are you on the hybrid squad tonight? You want to?
Yeah, 8 o'clock on the hybrid squad. Monday Madness. So come and join us if you can. So actually, no. We're on after the game, so we're on later. Probably about 10 o'clock. So check us out at 10 after the Monday night football.
All right, we'll check you out then.
Check us out.
Yes. Big up to Kev. Appreciate it.
Nice one, Curtis. Thanks, everyone. Take good care.
Big up to everyone in the comments. I'll be back tomorrow about 2 p.m. again. But at least it's good vibes, man. Arsenal on the way up. And as Kev said, it's the players, Curtis.